This episode of Taste of the Valley is brought to you by Central Distributing. Welcome to Taste of the Valley. I'm your host, Andreas Borges, and in this episode, we are showcasing Armenian Town in downtown Fresno. We're going to start off with Valley Lavash Baking Company and learn how they make lavash cracker bread. And then we're going to head over to the Holy Trinity Armenian Apostolic Church. And then we're going to involve ourselves in some cooking over at Yerez Armenian Restaurant in the Aspares Community Center off Ventura. We look forward to having you join us. Come on. Valley Lavash Baking Company in Armenia Town off of Ventura, and I'm joined by co-host for this segment and the owner of Valley Lavash Baking Company, Agnes Agatelian.
Right.
Agnes, thank you so much for inviting us over to your bakery and giving us a tour.
Sure, pleasure.
So you're known for one thing especially, and that's lavash.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit more about what lavash is.
Well, lavash is a thin, crisp, cracker-type bread. It's a very traditional Armenian bread. It is an unleavened bread, which means it goes straight from the mixing process straight to the oven.
So unleavened meaning there's no yeast.
There is a little bit of yeast, but there's no rest and rise.
I see.
So it goes straight from the mixer, straight to the oven in the baking process.
Very thin.
Very thin. Thin, crisp, and bubbly.
Thin, crisp, and bubbly.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Now, your facilities here are quite large.
Yes, we actually take up the entire block. So our plant goes from Santa Clara all the way up to Ventura. This is where the whole process starts. All of the ingredients get put into the mixer: flour, sugar, yeast, water. Then the lid goes up, the dough gets mixed, and then it gets dropped down onto this metal table, and then they take off the chunks and then begin the baking process. The shape that we're making now is our large traditional 15-inch size. Make a lot of different shapes and sizes that have become much more mainstream. We're actually known for our heart-shaped lavash.
I had that yesterday, as a matter of fact.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah. That was my mother's creation. She loves anything and everything in the shape of a heart. So when she became president, she decided to make a heart-shaped cracker, and now it's our #1 retail seller.
Now, is that salt or sesame being dropped onto?
Yes, those are sesame seeds that are being sprinkled on before it actually goes into the oven.
That's amazing. So it just keeps on going into the oven. So now, the oven right here continues on.
Yes.
Wow, look how long this oven is.
It's an 80-foot oven.
80-foot oven.
Yeah.
And all right, what temperature are we looking at? Because it's warm in here.
It's very hot in here, and the temperature is set at various degrees throughout the oven to maintain consistency throughout the product. So it gets very, very hot in the summertime. But we keep the doors closed, try and keep it insulated as best we can to get the best baking we can. Here you can actually see, this is where you can see that the bread starts to initially bake.
Wow.
It sits right on the oven band, and the flames come from underneath, and you can see it starting to bubble. It's actually a very fast process.
Now there's flames on the bottom and top.
There are flames both, so it's
Yeah.
getting cooked all around, and
Both
it sits
sides.
on the metal band, yes. So you can see it, the bubbles are starting to come up, and then by the time it gets down just a couple more feet, it's almost completely baked.
What else is made here on the premises?
We make a wonderful loaf-type bread called pita, which is spelled P-E-D-A, and that was the bread that my grandfather formulated when he came to this country to commemorate his coming to America.
So you have the pita and you have the lavash,
Yes.
and of course you have the heart-shaped lavash that you told us about earlier.
Right.
And if folks want to buy this, where can they go? Where can they come and buy the lavash here?
Well, we sell it through our retail store here, which is on the corner of M and Santa Clara, and then we sell to stores like Save Mart and the Market. So various grocery store chains carry it here locally, as well as we sell it nationwide.
The bakery is something very special here in the valley. Can you tell us why it's so special?
It's been here since 1922, and when people talk about Old Armenian Town, it was the bakery and the church, and that made up Old Armenian Town. And it's wonderful that both of those two things are still here. So many Armenians in town grew up coming to the bakery. We've got generations of families that still come to the bakery. So it's really a mainstay of the Central Valley, especially downtown.
Well, Agnes, thank you very much for taking us through the baking process and the cooking, and allowing me to have a taste at the end. Next up, we'll be visiting Holy Trinity Armenian Apostolic Church with Father Vahan Gostanian. Hi, we're here today at Holy Trinity Armenian Apostolic Church off of Ventura in Fresno, and we are joined by Father Vahan Gostanian. Father Gostanian, it's a pleasure, and thank you for opening your church for us today.
Please, let's go in.
All right. Father Vahan, thank you for allowing us to film in the church, and maybe you can tell us a little bit more about the Armenian history and the history of this church.
The Armenians immigrated to Fresno, the first two brothers that came in 1881 from Marzvan, old country. In those days, Fresno's population was 1,100 only. They came through Ellis Island, of course, and then to Fresno, the valley, because they heard about the climate here, and they heard that it's agricultural area here, and that's why they came here. So they started the services in 1895 by renting halls or other churches. And in 1914, they built this present building. In 4 years, it will be 100 years for this church.
So, Father, maybe you could tell us, what role does faith play in the Armenian community?
From day one, Armenians, when they accepted Christianity, they were the church. They were, you could never separate Armenian person from his or her church.
And that's why the church is the centerpiece of Little Armenia here, of Armenia Town in Fresno.
Yes, and the church is the center where gathers all the Armenian, brings them together. Wherever they went, at the end, they come back to the church.
From what I know of Armenians, every time there's a congregation, there's also food. Now, what role does the faith play in the type of food that the Armenians eat?
You know, we like food. We like to eat. And it is important for the body, physical body.
Well, spiritually too.
Spiritual, the church nourishes us spiritually, but the food is for our physical body, and Armenian food is a healthy food. It's a very good diet.
Now, how about some events coming up for folks that are watching the show? What are some larger events that you host or sponsor?
And the most important outdoor event during the year, which is a religious event, it's the Ascension of the Virgin Mary, which occurs mid-August. So this year is August 15. So on that feast day, we also do the grave blessing, which is very important. Every year we have around 1,500 to 2,000 people attend.
Wow. And there's also another major event that you have later in the year, correct?
In October, it's our bazaar event, which we serve about 2,000 food here. They come to the hall. That's only food.
Only food?
Only food, no religious services or whatever.
Yeah, we're coming to that.
Only food and people visiting each other, because unfortunately, those are the times when people see each other. At weddings, funerals, baptisms, and events like that, the picnic, grave blessing, those are the events that people see each other, so they would like to come. At the same time, there is food because they need to eat, so food and drink.
With the large events that you have at the church and also the ones you sponsor, how do you feed that many people?
Well, fortunately, we're blessed to have so many volunteers. So for events like that, especially the bazaar, they start baking about 3 months ahead. Before the event, few days before, they come and prepare all the silverware, plates or whatever, setting up everything.
I see.
And then early morning of the day of the event, men come, start putting up the charcoals and burning the charcoals, preparing the barbecue, and some are baking the pilaf, and it's like
everybody contributes.
Everybody. We're blessed. It's not easy to feed 2,000 people in 2 hours.
Well, Father Gostanian, thank you very much for telling us about Holy Trinity Armenian Apostolic Church over off of Ventura Street in Fresno. It has been a learning experience, and thank you for taking the time and opening up your church for us.
My pleasure. Anytime.
Stay tuned. Up next is Yera's Armenian restaurant in downtown Fresno. Hi, we're at Yera's Armenian restaurant in the Aspares Armenian Community Center in Fresno's Armenia Town. And I'm joined today by Levon Eskijian, who is the owner and head chef of Aspares. Levon, it's a pleasure. Thank you for welcoming us into your kitchen today.
Thank you so mumuch. You are more than welcome. Thank you.
And we're going to be cooking 2 dishes today. What are they going to be?
First dish, we're going to make you the filet mignon shish kebab. The second will be the manti.
And the manti is the Armenian ravioli soup. Is that correct?
Yes, it's
Oh, this
very
is-
delicate and very tasty thing. We're going to enjoy it, preparing wise and tasting wise.
Excellent, excellent. All right, well, we have right in front of us all the accoutrement and the stuff for the shish kebab.
For the shish kebab is the filet mignon meat. This is
Wow.
a real filet mignon. We're going to cut it.
Now, tell me, Levon, are you from Armenia? Where are you from originally?
I was born in Lebanon, but I lived all my life in Greece. And I operated a couple of restaurants in Greece, in Mykonos Island.
So now, do you have a minor Asian influence in your Armenian cooking?
There is a little bit, yes, of course. Everything from the East is something, all the culture is combined. Don't forget that Middle East and all Asia is a small regarding to United States. So you can travel from one city to another in 1 hour.
Of course. So you cut up the cubes in about an inch and a half.
Inch and a half. We're going to display the whole meat. Well, we're going to add some salt.
Some salt.
But adding the salt to each one of it.
The patience of cooking.
Some black pepper.
So we have salt, black pepper. Now, what is that?
That's the secret.
Uh-oh.
This is the secret of Yera's Armenian cuisine.
Can you whisper it to me? What is it?
No, I can't.
Come on.
It's mixture of couple of ingredients like paprika and other stuff.
Well, don't tell us all of it. It is proprietary.
We're gonna add again on each one of them. Wow. And some onion.
It's more like a salad.
Yes.
It's looking good.
And now we're gonna pour some pure olive oil.
Perfect.
Now we mix this.
Mix that all up. Now, you do this the night before or the morning before the lunch rush?
Or the early morning.
And
Every day.
every day.
Yes.
All right, so we've got the souvlakia,
This is marinated.
the shish kebab
Then we put it.
marinated over there.
Now, Andreas, it's your turn.
All right.
Do.
What am I going to do now? Am I going to skewer it?
Yes, you can.
All right. And do it long ways, short ways?
Well, both.
Both? All right.
Short ways is better.
Okay, like that. Wow, that meat just goes right onto the souvla, the skewer. You can tell it's high quality meat when it goes onto a skewer
Yes,
that
we
easily.
use the best meat available.
We have the skewer here. Do you want the meat tightened up or do you want it loose,
A little bit
separated?
loosened.
A little bit loose.
Yeah,
So how does that look?
looks great.
All right, so what do we do next?
As you see, it's tightened. Andreas, a good job, man. And now we put it on the grill. And
Now that is a fantastic apparatus. You don't have to worry about turning it. You don't have to worry about keeping a close eye on it. So that's why you're so effective with so many customers in the restaurant.
yes. Well,
Excellent.
this is the most dish that I sell every day. A lot of people, they come and ask for the shish kebab.
And of course, in Greece, we would call this
Souvlaki.
souvlaki. So Levon, the shish kebab has been cooking for about 15 minutes. It looks ready to eat.
Yes, it is.
And so we just go ahead and take it off.
But how we serve it, as you see, the plate here, with the rice pilaf, onion, again grilled. We put always tomato.
I love that. So we have grilled tomato and grilled onion.
Yes.
And wow, that is hot. So we have red onion and parsley mix.
Yes. We put something, some ingredient. You can find it in Mediterranean stores, which is called sumac.
Sumac.
We put some here.
Now, for those that are watching the show, what does sumac taste like? How would you describe it?
It's like sourish. It's something else, but it's like a sour. It's like lemon inside, some salty.
It's very tasty.
Yeah.
A lot of times they put it on top of yogurt, right?
Yes, they do.
So you mix the sumac, the red onions, and the parsley.
Parsley.
And I'm getting really hungry looking at this.
And we pour and we put on the plate.
Mm.
And our plate
Voila.
is ready.
So how do you say in Armenian the food is ready?
Jashe badraste. Paria forjak.
All right. I'm just gonna come on there. Visit us online at tasteofthevalley.tv. We're also on Facebook and Twitter. So we're here today with Levon Eskijian, who's the owner and operator of Yera's Armenian restaurant in the Asparez Armenian Community Center in Armeniatown. And this is my favorite part of the show, Levon. Yes. This is a veritable feast. Yes. So we made the shish kebab, the Armenian shish kebab, and we also made two different types of manta. And one is the soup, and the other
is without soup.
With yogurt.
With yogurt.
What else do we have here?
We have, of course, every day you can come and you can taste a lot of different things, but we have today this is what it calls eggplant dip. Some people call it mutabbal, some people calls it
melanzana salata.
Melanzano salata. We have very famous hummus here.
Ah, the hummus, yes.
I'll bet it's the best hummus in town. That's what I can tell you.
Those are big words. Those
yeah,
are big words.
You can bet on it.
But your standing here is accomplished.
And this is very, very famous. A lot of people know it's the grape leaves. It's yalanchi, or dolma as they call in Greek. This is, as you see,
excellent
stuffed grape leaves.
Well, let's dig in. Let me grab a couple pieces. Let me grab a piece for you.
Thank you.
And we'll dive in and taste this. So the food here is fantastic. It's food that I grew up with. It's a food that you grew up with. Mm-hmm. And maybe you can comment on how important Asparez is to the Armenian community.
Well, let me tell. There's two segments. It's food and entertainment. A lot of old folks that they grew up in our homeland, or they came here, or they were even born here. One of the major reasons they come here is that the food they have here is authentic, very, very, very similar that their mothers, their grandmothers, and people made. The second thing is what we call is entertainment. They come here. First of all, there is a social life going on over here. They meet and they talk with their friends. They read newspapers. They talk about everything in town, about Armenia, about different issues. They play backgammon. Yeah.
Plus, I wanted to ask you about that. Yeah. My father-in-law is here virtually every day. Playing backgammon.
Yeah.
And it's important for those in that generation to be able to have a place where folks can congregate. They can play cards, they can play tavli, they can play backgammon. It's not just a restaurant, it's a community center. And that's why it's very exciting to be able to showcase Yera's and the Asparez Community Center in Old Armeniatown, or Armeniatown in Fresno, is because it offers that much.
Before 3 years, this was a closed community, the closed society. So we were catering only for the members of the community. Now, since 3 years, we're open to the public, so everyone can come and enjoy the food, the atmosphere. They can play tavli or backgammon. They can play cards. We have a card room inside, the smoking section. In the patio, they can come and enjoy all the facilities.
Especially with the opening of the California Court of Appeals
Yes.
directly east of you on Ventura. You have a lot of folks in the professional field that come over at lunchtime.
Yes, they always come here. We make caterings about about their events and everything.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, I would like to end this wonderful journey that we've had together. And how do you say to your health in Armenian?
Genatset.
Genatset? Arokchutun.
Arokchutun.
We've hoped you enjoyed this episode of Taste of the Valley. I'm your host, Andreas Borges, and we've enjoyed showcasing Armenia Town in Fresno. We've been to Holy Trinity Armenian Apostolic Church, Valley Lavash Baking Company, and Yeda's Armenian Restaurant. And remember, every dish has its story. See you next time. This episode of Taste of the Valley is brought to you by Central Distributing.